this one, I have.
Yes, this one, yes.
Yeah, and I have one call, say, because I know, say.
Tell us be journalist from Vanguard newspaper.
Ogisoga.kpai.
I beg, I won't call.
Wait, may I first bring that down? May they not go top for inside, though. You know, people don't hear word, though. They will come to top for inside. Some of them, they're not going to hear. You understand, so? So with the help, then they build their empire. Abi?
Yeah.
Hey, call him now. I'm gonna call up.
You mute, you do?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Long time no chat. I hope you still remember me. We spoke a while ago. I hope you're well.
I'm well, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How's the family and how's business?
I will thank God, sir.
To God be the glory, sir. Sorry to trouble you again, sir, because it's just something, I'm working on. I'm working on actually a reporter on X and on Facebook, and I was like, I just needed to check something with you. So this is in regards to the Gili thing. And I've been looking for the court judgments and everything like it. I've actually seen the court judgments. So it's relatively between two families. So the court judgment does not really, I like to do things in a way where, nobody can actually come and debunk or start running mad. And as you know, information is very, very important because most of our people, they need to get the right information because these people are trying to mislead and change our history. So I've read some certain books about Gele being part and parcel and under the control and the ownership of the Oba of Benin, Oba 25toKpai. And I just wanted to see if you think posting the court judgment would actually suffice, or if there's any book you can actually recommend that would really, really aid and back, the Benin stance that Gele remains part of the Benin Kingdom and the Jaws are nothing but just settlers in our land.
Well, that's what the Supreme Court judgment said.
So the same Supreme Court judgment between the two families, correct?
Not two families.
Oh, that's the one I have seen. Perhaps if you can help me with that one, I'll be more than happy.
The one that the lines that the judge are putting on the media.
Yeah, because it's becoming unbearable.
The court case was not between two families. The court case was between a Benin man taking the job people in Gele to court. Not between one Benin man and one Ijob man. Because the man who took the Gele people to court is from Mugoton.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Your man. And I mentioned the man before he died. The man died not too long ago. His grandson is a very close friend. If you want to get the real truth, you look for a man called Osaze Amas. It's his grandson. He's the one that has Edobo on Facebook.
Oh, Edo Boy. Okay, let me write it down.
Edobo.
Oh, Edobo.
Osaze Amas is the grandson of that man that won a job from High Court to the Supreme Court.
Wow, that's good.
Prior before even the court case, there was an inquiry that was set up by the then military government. Before the matter even went to court case, the committee was set up by the then military government on inquiry on inquiries of the true ownership of that land. And that inquiry lasted for 3 years.
That's interesting.
So, and it turned out that the court judgment was very clear. There's nothing disputable. It wasn't referring to an individual.
Yeah.
The judgment was referring to Gele.
So you might be hearing my keyboard click. I'm just writing down as we speak, typing it down so I don't forget any points you're making.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The case was very clear. It wasn't referring to one individual.
Good.
It was referring to the entire Gele and its environment, all the bushes around the environment.
Now, just a quick question. This Ijo, I mean, we both know how the Ijos are today. You know, they go somewhere, they claim, oh, these people are Ijo, even though they don't even speak the same language. Are these people claiming to be Ijo, are they truly Ijo people, or they are our brothers that have now been brainwashed to accept the Ijo identity? Because I think that's a very important point, because I've seen people comment saying, well, they have relatives, they don't identify as Ijo now, but they are Pini. I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Are they Ijo people, or they've just been brainwashed to be Ijo people?
Well, maybe the ones in around our coastlines are not. Maybe those ones are not Benin. The ones that are in the Olodiama, around Okomu, all the ones that are within Edo State cannot be ascribed as being Benin people. If they were Benin people, they won't act the way they are acting. So these are migrants from Old Brass Kingdom, incurring the Bayelsa. But when you now go into the main Ijo territories, you have quite a lot of Benin people.
Yes.
Who is being assimilated into Ijo. Yeah. That is not because someone told me. That is because I have had a physical extensive interaction with these people, with these Benin people, who are now being surrounded by Ijo, and Ijo is taking over gradually the identity. So about 50% of the entire Benin population within the Ijo axis is being assimilated into a larger Ijo subgroup. A very good example is the Aboriginal owners of Yenangwa. Yenangwa is not owned by Ijo people. That is the capital Bayelsa.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, from what I've seen.
That's the APA and the Atise. They're about the same family, but it's not two ethnic identity. When I went to Degema is in River State. In Degema, they usually have a festival that they do every year, yearly. In one of the festivals, we were invited to come. That festival is the gathering of all the Benin descendants. There are about 7 Benin descendants and Cross Rivers and Bayelsa that attend that festival in Degema. Degema is historically the oldest, is the first local government that was created in River State. So by that verdict, it is the oldest local government in River State. Yep. It used to be where the proposed capital city of River State was originally proposed when Rivers and Bayelsa was still the same, because Bayelsa was carved out of River State. Yeah. So we have ethnic groups like Zarama. We have ethnic groups like Tombia. We have ethnic groups like the Degeman themselves. Then the APs and the Atise. They're about 5 to 7. They are all within Rivers and Bayelsa. So, but over the time, and there's another one called Bukuma. The Bukuma people. I knew the Bukuma people is because I have a brother who has I have most like a father. I've not heard from him for a while. Yeah. He has a big multinational company in Lagos. All right. He used to invite us to Lagos at that time. I understand. He would pay for our hotel bills and he was sponsoring a lot of our projects. He was from Bukuma. Bukuma is in
I think I kind of get a gist, but one thing I think we're at a disadvantage here is the Benin descendants were just scattered all over everywhere, and it seems like there's no sort of organization that is coming or trying to put us together. I used to be part of one group called Edo 247, which was trying to bring together the Benin descendants, even within Edo states.
I think you are wrong with that. If you would have listened
Oh, okay.
more to what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Please fire.
There is an organization that I formed 9 years ago, but I resigned last year. The name of the organization is Association of Great Benin Descendants.
Oh, great.
You could have asked, how did I get to know of all this information? So we are visiting these places.
Wonderful.
We were visiting these places. We were meeting with the kings and the people of these places. Quite a lot of our videos are on the internet, on the YouTube, how we visited all of these Benin descendants. To now have an umbrella that unites them back home. We actually, in short, harvesting of Benin ethnic descendants started through me in the entire Nigeria.
Wow.
I was as far back as 2017 when I started to locate all the Benin descendants across the country. That's even the thing that takes me to Ghana almost every year. I've been to Ghana again this year because of our Benin descendant that's in Accra, that owns Accra, Ghana. So it takes me, I have been able to have that. There was a concerted effort to bring everybody together. But at the time when we've been able to have met everybody, the last hurdle was the Oba of Benin recognizing these people as being part of and parcel of the larger Benin group.
Right.
So that's where some politics played out 4 years or 5 years ago. That got me really pissed up, because when you've got into a place where you've been able to talk with some of these kings are first class, some of these kings are second class, and they just tell you that we are Benin, you don't have to come and remind us of our heritage. We are fed onto this heritage. But you have to piece a date where all of us will have to come and sing our royal father in Benin.
Yes.
That's our father. So that we can tell him what have been our suffering, how we can unite, and how we can now begin to solve each other's problems. Okay. So that was what I presented to the palace. That's about 5 years now, about 4 to 5 years ago. So at the time when we wanted, the Omo was very interested. I was very happy and very interested, because I had in 3 occasions, I had more than 5-6 hours private conversation with Omo on this very matter. He was very.
By Omo, you mean our Omonoba?
Oba is referred to as Omo.
Omo. Yeah, thank you.
Omo. So I had on 3 occasions I had private conversations of 4-5 hours. So Omo was very happy. So he wanted the execution of it. Then, as we were planning, he asked me to write a proposal, which I did. I did submit. So as we were planning to execute it, that's when Godwin Obaseki happened.
Yeah.
So the whole artifact matter happened, and during that same time of the artifact, some persons in the palace at that time now started to feel that I was getting too powerful. So they now had to lie against me because of my wedding that I did in Ile-Ife. So it went viral at one point in time. So because of that, I was very angry. So I disconnected myself from the palace since almost 4 years. So because of that, we couldn't go ahead to accomplish all of those ideas that I had on how we can bring everybody back to Benin. But fortunately, 3 weeks ago, I have been called by the head of the committee, because Omo is this 10th year coronation anniversary is going to be very big. It's
in October.
Yes, it's a 3 weeks event. It's going to be very big. So Omo now has instructed the head of the committee who is in charge of the planning, has been instructed, the Professor Sango Badia, called me 3 weeks ago that the idea I had with Omo wants it reinvigorated. So most likely almost all the Benin descendants will be in Benin by October.
Thank God.
be given that role officially.
That's great.
But I'm just waiting for them to give me a go ahead. Once they give me a go ahead, I'm probably going to be out of Benin for 1 month, traveling all these places. It's a place that I have known for years. It's a king. I know almost all of the kings of these places because I've had one-on-one interaction with all of them. So just for me to
a quick question, if I may ask, because I did mention I was part of this. It's called 247, but eventually I found out they're charlatans. How does one get involved with this organization you've mentioned? Because see, the way I see these things is, you don't do things to get paid. You do this for the love of your culture. Love. You don't do this for recognition. You do this to preserve your culture and tradition from cultural vultures, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Jaws, the Esan people, the Esako, all these vultures that want to leech on the glory of our great kingdom. So my own point has always been, if you know you are doing this just to be recognized and be hailed, maybe they will give you small money, then you should find something else to do. So how does one become part of this organization? Because I really would want to be useful to ensure that my culture and tradition is preserved.
For now, I'm not, I resigned last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did mention that.
From that group. So they now have a fresh president. They have a fresh president. Maybe I can link both of you up. Or the secretary.
Yeah,
and the secretary was also my secretary.
Okay.
While I was the president, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And one thing again before I go away, Mr. Sir, this thing I've seen it started popping up online, and it has raised question. So this OPC recalcitrant organization, I've been seeing them posting on Facebook, saying they are the defender. You know OPC, they are this Yoruba nationalist organization. My question is, I saw them putting a picture of the Omo on their poster. The question is, what is OPC doing in Edo State, in Edo South? Edo State is not Yoruba land. Why would OPC be operating within? I'm trying to understand the rationale, because me myself, I'm lost, because I don't even know what to say.
It's like asking what is Ogboni doing in Edo State. Anyway, over time, our people have not been able to organize themselves over the years. The only thing that even makes me happy in recent times is that the Benins in recent times have been able to awaken Osokbika or Wegbe,
yes, which
is our spiritual identity. But in the 40s and in the 50s, when Wegbe was created by the Dem Iyase, it was the Iyase of Benin that started this Osokbika. The prior reason why he wanted that Wegbe was to curtail the excesses of Ogboni that was growing very strongly within Benin, being that it was not originally it was not us, came from the Yoruba land. So he wanted an indigenous idea. So that was how he was able to an extent to stop Ogboni from growing.
Okay.
But however, because Ogboni had some very strong political leaders, they blackmailed or they blacklisted Owegbe, and Owegbe was silent for years. They started to put lie that they were doing human sacrifices and all of that. So one way or the other, that group was not scrapped. But it took them about 25 to 30 years again to reorganize themselves and change the name from Owegbe to Osokbika.
Okay, yeah, that is good.
Which they now bear today. And over the years, they are now a lot of Benins, almost all the young boys around me, I've seen them being members of this our spiritual group. It is the same thing that will happen to OPC. OPC is Oduwa People's Congress, and funny enough, the young man who brought them to Edo State is a very useless man. I don't pick his call. He was trying to call me 3 weeks ago. The moment I heard his voice, the moment he introduced himself, I just ended the call, because even when Barry the man scolded him, I remember the very day he brought OPC and came to introduce it to Obaredewa blessed memory. Obaredewa, the people who were in the meeting actually told me the story. Obaredewa actually told him that Sylvester, that's his name. Kayode.
Yes, Sylvester Kayode, yes.
So Omo told him Obaredewa that you didn't see something good to bring from Yoruba land. You want to bring a security outfit to Yoruba land. So Mona asking, we Yoruba were here, are you a Yoruba person? So I think they said the answer that saying he grew up in Yoruba land, he felt that the security would be okay and all of that. But the bottom line is that everybody has every right to associate with
everyone. Yeah, freedom of association. Yes.
So they have every right. But OPC does not represent, but because we are unable to organize, that's why I had to give you the story of Ogboni and Osokpika. Yep. The reason Osokpika has come to stay within the lives of every Benin, because someone felt that we needed to start, because we're not having that kind of a spiritual association. That's why Benin people were joining Ogboni. So he now had to form his own spiritual association. And the Benin's now saw the reason why they should join Osokpika more than join Ogboni. So we've not been able to organize ourselves and come up with a strong security outfit.
Yeah.
To sort of shut down OPC, and that's why OPC is still rearing his head. I don't think any reasonable Benin man would join OPC.
Exactly. Just one quick question, sir. So, there's this guy, he's from Edo North. He says he's from Auchi. He said the ruling family of Auchi are descendants of the Omo, that they are Benin people. And I'm like, no. The Otairo of Auchi has come out to say he has Nupe or maybe Fulani ancestry. I mean, is this Nigerian politics, or why exactly?
No. I think maybe you don't understand the dynamics of how ancestry works.
Okay.
In this part of the world. We have a lot of those cases in Ika areas, in Delta North, where sometimes when you get to some communities, the people there have Benin ancestry, but the leadership there are from somewhere else, probably from Igala, or from the Igbo, the eastern part of the country. It's the same thing with the Esako, most especially the Auchi area, because there was a conquest around the early 19th centuries of the Nupe invasion. They have invaded the northern part of Edo. They just got to the most northern part of Edo Central, Eastern land, Ewu. They have just got into Ewu. Probably I will send you. It's a popular quote from Oba Semende. There's a popular quote from Oba Semende. They have just got into Ewu. And when the Oba Benin heard that the Nupe are expanding towards the southern part of Nigeria.
Yes.
So Oba Semende then sent message. He brought artilleries of so many armies, gun kegs and all of that. He sent message to the then head of that militia who was invading towards his land. And the message at the point they met there was at Ewu. That is why the Ewus, the kings of the Ewus are Muslims. The kings of Ewu. You have about 2-3 of the. That's why some of them bear Zaiki. They bear Zaiki because of that Nupe invasion. So at the point when they got to where these militias were, the Yoruba Benin military minds saw them there, and the message Yoruba delivered is that he told them that they should look onto the ground that they step on. If it is red, it's a popular speech. I have delivered this speech somewhere in some university that they should look at the ground under their feet. If it is red, that means they have stepped onto his territory. To avoid a stronger military might, they should have set the gun keg and turn back and never to return. So when the Nupe had seized the military minds of the Benin, they simply accepted the gun keg, turned back, and they never returned. But before Obafemi then sent them that message, they have actually colonized, put some leadership structures in some places that they have conquered. But that does not inherently mean that the people there are their structure. So in Auchi, where you have this Nupe leadership structure, the people has nothing to do with Nupe. There's no Nupe people in Edo State. They're only Nupe leadership.
Okay. Understandable. In one of your videos, when you directed me to watch on Facebook, I actually came across one where you were talking about one king that the Oba of Benin paid tribute to. The video was a short one.
It was not. Oba Benin didn't pay a tribute to a king. He paid a tribute to a priestly king. There are people that plays a role as a priest because the leadership, because they take leadership over a certain amount of people. You call them a king, but they are not really a king. They are priests. It's just like the Oni of Ife.
Okay, so who was this?
He's a priestly.
Yeah, this priestly king that the Oma was paying tribute to.
Yes. Well, it's a maybe you have to look for. It's not a short video. Maybe someone.
They actually call, that was why I'm asking, because it was the short one I saw. As I was just curious to find out who was.
Maybe you have to look for the long one because it's a very long story for you to understand. It will probably take me 1 hour for me to make you understand. But that priestly king is Paidu.
Okay.
Paidu didn't die here. He led the Benin emissaries to present-day Kogi State, where we call Uhe.
Wonderful.
So when he died, he was not deified as a king, and a priest was chosen to propitiate his altar.
Okay.
That priest is called Azama Nuhe.
Okay.
So after the Benins have returned back to their land, they were still going on a pilgrimage to that place to pay him respect, to pay him obeisance.
Yeah, just
because it's their progenitor.
Do you think the Red Book is a good book about the Benin history to buy? I'm thinking.
It gives you general knowledge, not specific, because the Red Book was written to give general. The team that was used to write the Red Books is because I'm a lazy writer. I would have been a contributor to the Red Book because it is my mentors and two other of my colleagues, although they are PhD in history now. I'm not a professional historian. I'm just
doing it for the passion.
Yeah, it's for the passion. So, but those are professional. About two of them. So is Zengbe, Ebuka, and Ehato.
The reason.
So it's one of the best team that wrote a Red Book.
The reason why I'm asking is because I've seen these Yoruba people running around on Facebook, taking a particular page that says, well, the Oba said the Benin people migrated from Sudan, Egypt, Ile-Ife. And they've also mentioned that there's no place mentioned in the book which says Paidu or Kogi. So, that's what I'm thinking of, actually buying the book and seeing it for myself.
They only told you, don't let them. When someone takes one page to explain a very huge book, all right, there are 3 accounts we have about 2 accounts of our migration.
Yes.
Then 1 account. We have 2 accounts of migration, 2 accounts of creation. So if someone is telling you, the way the Benin people write, the Benin people, there are so many ideas of there were so many propositions of our migration. People proposed and we migrated.
Yeah.
All right, which is also part of our history. All right, whether
Yes.
he's true
Or
or he's
not.
false, you don't throw that away. All right, but there are also accounts of our creation that were created here. We've never left here. It's also an account. So you have like 4 of those accounts. So the book, the red book, was explaining the different accounts, the migration account and our creation account. So it gives you options to believe whatever you want to believe. So, like I said, the Ephecentric idiots will just pick a part that suits their narrative.
Correct.
But Benin don't write history the way they write. They probably come together and say that this is how our history should be. The Benins do not write history like that. The Benins, there were different authorities at the very beginning, foundation of when the Benin started to write history on books. There were like 3-4 authorities. So when we now write, we quote each and every of these authorities. I said, this is what Jacob wrote. This is the reason why he wrote the way he wrote, because Jacob was influenced by earliest historians and anthropologists like Percy Amore Talbot. So those people believe what they call Hamitic hypothesis.
Oh yeah.
So those people believe that because Benin was great, there's no way Benin could have been great if we don't trace our ancestry to Egypt. And so every younger civilization must be connected to a super civilization.
Right.
So because Talbot influenced the Kopuwade when Egariwa was not writing the Benin history, because he was already influenced, it didn't affect that. Since this is what he knew, this is what he has read, for Benin to have existed, they have to be connected to Egypt. So that's why he started to write our history from Egypt.
Yeah.
Because he was already influenced by higher authority of the Hamitic hypothesis.
Yeah.
So not that he was correct.
Using that same logic, because I like to, if something is pointing towards me, I like to point it back just to see if it will bounce back. So I do understand the Hamitic theory, because Egypt was a great civilization, so Benin must definitely have come from it. So do you not think that some people often might use this as an excuse as well to say, well, the people that are claiming to be Benin descendants today, they're not really from Benin, they're just laying claims or wanting to be to belong because Benin was famous and things like that. Would that also be applicable to some extent?
No, it won't be applicable because, like I said, when we're talking about either a migration story or a creation story, different people wrote that. Some we came from Egypt, some said we didn't come from Egypt, God created us here. In short, in the conclusion, that's the best passage that I believed is one of the works, the prologue that Omo Obaredawa wrote of blessed memory, one of the books of written by the current Iyase. I will just look for it on my library now, where he wrote. That's what I've always believed. He said the Benins were created here.
Yeah.
Yes, it was created. The Benins were created here. Because if you start talking about migration, you start over tracing this story. Where did the earliest Egyptians came from?
Yeah, who know, maybe they migrated out of Benin themselves.
So the oldest civilization is one of the oldest civilizations in Ethiopia. Where did those people came from? So you must now start tracing that someone has to come from somewhere, someone has to come from somewhere. But science never said so. Science said that evolution took place at different times, at different places of the surface of the earth.
Yes.
So that means God could have, if those who believe in religion, maybe God could have created some people in present-day Sudan. At the same time, he's creating some people in Europe. At the same time, he's creating some people. But evolution in the science also says that since we evolve. So evolution could take place at different places, the same time at different times on the surface of the earth. So it reduces all the complexities of trying to trace yourself to Sudan, trying to stories that you can never be able to tell because you don't know what happened 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So don't get yourself right up.
Yeah.
Coming to the question that you ask, when there's one sources, you believe maybe it can be true or it cannot be true. But when you now have 10 different sources that is pointing to one direction, there's a high level of authenticity.
Correct.
The oral history that these descendants of Benin has passed is very consistent with various families within this enclave. None of these families has come out and said, no, it is not true. Maybe we didn't come from Benin, maybe because Benin is a bigger civilization. So they were very certain, and some of them were very exact, put a date to it. You know, the date that we talked about, one of the greatest gifts that God gave to the Benin people is the unbroken line of the Obas of Benin. Because when we want to tell our story, we'll say in the year of Bayawari, the first was the king of Benin. That is when we migrated. And because we've been able to keep our recordings, we've been able to say Bayawari lived in the year 1440 to 1483 or so. So we'll be able to tell that was the time these people left. So these people were connected. They were able to tell the year they left, basically because of the Oba that was on the throne at the time. These are very precise and very concise. Like the Robo, for example, they'll tell you that they left during the reign of Ogiso this. That is very exact history to tell. Unlike saying, if anybody was able to say that the Benin's left Egypt at the reign of this king, there's no such history.
That's correct.
There's no such history. So there are several sources that point that they came from Benin, and there have never been any other sources of the same magnitude that points towards another direction. So you agree with Su's oral description that to an extent they are saying the truth.
Yeah. So thank you very much again, sir. You see, each time I speak to you, there's something always new that I learn. And with this information you've given me, I'll make more findings and, ensure we enlighten our people. Because, one of the things that is just sad these days is that most of our people, you see them on live on Facebook, TikTok, they have 1,700 viewers, 2,000. I mean, they don't really take time to want to use this opportunity to teach our people who don't even know about the history. All they do is just talk about things that are irrelevant, which is quite sad. But we'll keep doing what we're doing, and one day, the next generation will thank us for this, because the internet never forgets. Some things that have been posted, say 10 years ago, if you just go online, you search for it, it's still there. So that's the good thing. God bless you again, sir. Thank you very much again.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Yeah, bye now.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Nice to know you. Thank you very much for the good work you are doing for our Benin people. Through you, a lot of Benin